Everything you think you know about House of the Dragon is about to blow up in your face because the finale trailer just confirmed the one thing everybody was scared to admit. Nobody in this war is actually loyal to anybody. Not Daemon, not Ulf, not even the people standing right next to Rhaenyra on her own side. This is the episode where the masks come off, where the people we trusted the most turn their swords on us, and where the phrase "war is war" stops being a threat and starts becoming a body count. If you thought Tumbleton was just gonna be a normal battle, think again, because betrayal is baked into every single frame of this trailer. And by the end of this video, you are gonna see exactly who dies, exactly who switches sides, and exactly why nobody, and I mean nobody, is safe in this finale. The biggest betrayal of the entire war could be about to happen, and the Battle of Tumbleton may be where everything finally falls apart for Rhaenyra. Let's start with the obvious problem, staring the Blacks right in the face. On paper, they look unstoppable. They have more dragons, a bigger army, and a queen who believes the gods themselves put her on this path. But numbers on paper mean nothing when the people fighting for you do not actually believe in the cause. That is the real danger hiding inside Tumbleton, and it has a name. The Dragonseeds. These are men who were nobody just months ago, farmers and stable boys and blacksmiths who suddenly found themselves sitting on top of the most powerful weapons in the known world. Power like that does strange things to a person, and the trailer makes it painfully clear that at least one of these new dragon riders is no longer thinking about loyalty. He is thinking about survival and maybe even about opportunity. If even one dragonseed turns his back on Rhaenyra in the middle of that battlefield, the entire war can flip in seconds, and that is exactly the kind of chaos this finale seems to be building toward. Ulf White is the name everybody should be watching right now. For weeks, the show has been quietly setting him up as the weak link in Rhaenyra's chain, and the finale trailer does nothing to calm those fears. If anything, it confirms them. Ulf has spent this entire season being underestimated, mocked, and treated like a joke by the people around him, and resentment like that does not just disappear, it festers. The Greens have clearly noticed this, and they have been circling him the way predators circle something wounded, offering him respect, promises, and a future that the Blacks never bothered to give him. When a man who already feels disposable is suddenly handed the chance to matter, to be remembered, to switch from the side that mocked him to the side that flatters him, the outcome becomes painfully predictable. And the terrifying part is that Ulf is not riding some minor dragon, he is riding Silverwing, one of the most important dragons in this entire war. If Silverwing turns against the Blacks at the exact wrong moment, it does not just weaken Rhaenyra's forces. It can shatter the entire battle plan in real time, right when there is no room left to adjust. While all of this is building toward Tumbleton, something even darker is happening inside Rhaenyra's own mind, and this is where the finale gets genuinely unsettling. She is not simply preparing for war anymore, she is becoming convinced that she was chosen by destiny itself to rule, and Daemon is the one feeding that belief every single chance he gets. His voice is constantly in her ear, telling her that she holds absolute power in her hands, that all she has to do is use it, that hesitation is the only thing standing between her and total victory. On the surface, that sounds like simple wartime strategy from a husband trying to steady his queen, but underneath it, there is something far more dangerous happening. Daemon is not just encouraging her to win the war, he is encouraging her to stop seeing the cost of winning it. And once a leader stops counting the cost, there is no limit left to what they are willing to do. Rhaenyra is also not in a stable place emotionally, and the trailer does not try to hide that. She has lost Jaehaerys, one of the people she trusted and loved the most, and that kind of grief does not just fade into the background of a war. It sits there, heavy, shaping every decision that follows. She is surrounded by people constantly reminding her of a greater destiny, whether it is Daemon talking about rebuilding something like a new Valyria or Mysaria, whispering her own version of guidance from somewhere inside King's Landing. Two very different voices, both pulling Rhaenyra toward extremes, both convincing her in their own way that ordinary rules do not apply to her anymore. And then there is the prophecy itself, the idea that she may be connected to the coming long night and the one who is meant to stop it. She has started to believe this more and more, and that belief is quietly becoming the most dangerous weapon in this entire war, more dangerous than any dragon. There is one image in the trailer that says, more than any line of dialogue could. Rhaenyra is shown staring at her crown, and sitting right next to it in the very same shot is her father's old model of the Valyrian freehold. That is not a random detail placed there for decoration. That is the show telling you exactly what is happening inside her head in that moment. She is not thinking about surviving the war anymore. She is thinking about legacy, about rebuilding an empire, about becoming something far bigger than a queen fighting for a throne. And if that reminds you of another queen from another story who slowly convinced herself that she alone had the right to decide who lives and who burns, that comparison is not an accident. The show wants you to feel that echo, and it is not a comforting one. Right in the middle of all this internal unraveling, Helaena delivers a line that lands far heavier than it first appears. She tells Rhaenyra that their father would hate what is happening, and she is talking about Viserys. It is a quiet moment, almost easy to miss, but the timing makes it clear she is speaking directly about the plan forming around Tumbleton. Helaena is not someone who says things carelessly. She has already lived through a vision of unimaginable horror, riding Dreamfire over the dragon pit while small folk below scream and burn, and that vision broke something in her. She was so shaken by it that she openly admitted she was not emotionally ready to ride a dragon at all. So when she pushes back, even gently, against the idea of burning a city full of people who have nothing to do with this war, it fits everything we already know about who she is. She has seen where this road leads, at least in her nightmares, and she wants absolutely no part of making that nightmare real. While Rhaenyra wrestles with prophecy and grief, Daemon is doing what Daemon always does best, preparing for violence without a shred of hesitation. He is surrounded by men who are ready to die for this cause, including Roderick Dustin and his Winterwolves, a bronze, hardened warriors who came south specifically because they believe in the Dragon Queen enough to give their lives for her. When Daemon looks Roderick in the eye and asks if he is still ready to die for Rhaenyra, Roderick does not even blink before answering. He is ready immediately without a trace of fear. That kind of unwavering commitment says a lot about the culture he comes from, where sacrifice for the greater good is treated as honor rather than tragedy. Standing near him is a very different kind of soldier. Oscar Tully, young, far less experienced, and visibly carrying the weight of what is about to happen, Oscar believes in the cause, but belief and readiness are not the same thing, and you can see the difference written all over his face. He seems less afraid of dying himself and more afraid of what Daemon might do once the fighting actually starts, and given everything we already know about Daemon's mindset heading into this battle, that fear is completely justified, because here's the truth the trailer refuses to soften. Daemon has already decided what he's willing to do to win, and it is brutal. He wants to burn Tumbleton to the ground, not as some worst-case last resort, but as a real and serious plan. That means innocent people, families with nothing to do with this war, could be wiped out simply because they happen to be standing in the wrong city at the wrong time. In Daemon's mind, that is an acceptable price if it ends the war faster and crushes the Greens for good. This is the same man who, just one episode earlier, was gentle and protective with Rhaenyra, and now he is standing ready to burn a city full of civilians without a flicker of doubt on his face. That contrast is not an accident. It is the show reminding you exactly who Daemon has always been underneath the softer moments. A man who said flatly earlier this season that war means people die, and who now seems fully prepared to prove he meant every word of it. And Rhaenyra is not standing apart from this. She is not some innocent bystander watching Daemon spiral. She is the one with the final authority to approve or stop what he wants to do, and everything building around her in this trailer suggests she may not be in the right state of mind to stop anything. Grief, prophecy, pressure from every direction, and a growing belief that she has been chosen by the gods themselves are combining into something extremely dangerous. A queen convinced she is untouchable by consequence does not need to give a direct order to cause destruction,